Happy morning, friends. Here's yours, Dr. Rajanta. Welcome to day 17 session. Today we are just going to see about list function. Among the built-in functions like all, any, sorted, min, max, length, compare, list are commonly used with dictionaries to perform different tasks. Let me just see one by one with an examples. The first one is all with a list. The method all returns true when all elements in the given iterable are true. If not, it returns false. Here are some examples. See here, dear friends. L is a variable which just has a list of 1, 3, 4 and 5 are the elements. When it just have the method which all the elements in the given are true, so it returns true. Where the second one, it is 0 and false, both are not returning the true function, so as it returns false, the output also false. And the next third one, it is 1, 3, 4 and 0. And dear friends, see only one value is false here, which it just returns false. So the output will be also false. And next one, the empty list. And even though if it is an empty list, yeah, it is iterable. So it returns true. Let I just execute this. Dear friends, kindly have a note of this. Wherever if the exact element it's iterable is true, the exact answer or resulted would be true. Fine. Now let me just see about any of list. So any function returns true if any element of an iterable is true. If not, it returns false. So any in the sense any one should be true. So if everything is in false or even one is not in true, okay, the exact resultant would be false. And see here, dear friends, the first list here, 3 of the elements is iterable and only one is false. And second list, both the things are in false. And the third list, it has 3 elements where one element is iterable. And the last one, when it just comes any, as iterable is empty here, it returns false. Let I just execute here, dear friends. Kindly have a look of this. Now let me just move on to sorted. The sorted function sorts the element of a given iterable in a specific order, either ascending or descending, and returns the sorted iterable as a list. And kindly have a look of this, dear friends. See here, I just need to make this, the list, a pi list has an element of E, A, U, O, I. And when I just make it is in a sorted manner, it just sort in ascending. And if I just want to make it in a reversing, that is the descending order, I have to specify or include reverse is equal to 2. So that would be displayed in a backward. That is in a descending order. So here it's the result, dear friends. Kindly have a look. A, E, I, O, U is the sorted one and U, O, I, E, A is in descending order. Now next comes the min of list. So here this is the method is used to get minimum value from the list. In Python, list elements type should be same, otherwise compile error throws. So here let me just have an example. See here, dear friends, if it is not supported if the exact list element should be same type. For an example, see here, the list one has A, B, C. Okay. So here it can be supported and it just shows which one is the minimum, and we would get the resultant as minimum among that list. And the list 2 also, it is in numerals and it is an integer type of list, and when on executing, yeah, we would just get the minimum among that the resultant. When coming to the list 3, it has a combination, that is mixed data types. See, actually when this minimum has to be used, every element's type should be same. Otherwise, compile throws type error. So here also, see here, when this list 3 has a mixed type of data, so it just throws an error. Okay. Fine. Let me just see the same with an example of max, whereas max method returns the element from the list with maximum value. To the same example or same elements, let me just have list 1 as ABC. So as a maximum, we're just going to resultant with a C, and when coming to list 2, 3 is the maximum among the element, so 3 would be resulted. And when you want to execute the list 3, it is not supported between the instant of integer and string, as it doesn't have a same data type elements. Okay, so here it just throws an error at the last. Fine. Next, let me just see the length. So the length method returns the number of element in the list, whether if it is anything mixed or a normal thing. Okay, so see here, the list 1, it just has 3 elements, so it just returns 3, and list 2 is an empty list, so it returns it 0, and list 3, even though the element are not of similar data type, it is of a mixed data type, even though just the length of the element is evaluated. So see here, it just returns the number, how many elements are there, and see to the list 3, we have 6 elements. And next comes Python list methods. So methods that are available with list objects in Python programming or tabulated here in below one by one. Let me just explore it. The first one is append. The append method adds an element to the end of the list. Yeah, yesterday we have just seen with an example. And see here, dear friends, if the list 1 has an element of 1, 2, 3, if I just want to append one more item, yeah, 4 is added. And again, I just want to add one more item. Yeah, it is a string. And to the last, it is a list that has to be appended. And once for all, when I just execute, yeah, we just having 1, 2, 3, 4 and hello world and one among the list. So totally we are having 6 elements in this list. And see, among that, one is a list of a list. Okay, fine. The next comes the extend. Yeah, the extend method adds all the elements of a iterable, whether it is a list or a tuple or a string, to end of the list. So that is more than one element if you want to include or add to that of last of that existing list. So see here, the list 1, it just has 1, 2, 3, and if I want to extend here, I am just giving one element which is a list of to that of list, and next again I just want to add one more element as a hello world, and next if I just want to extend as a comma b comma c. And see here, dear friends, here we are making an extending as a list, and here we are extending with a string value a comma b comma c. So when you make use of the same thing as an append, it is included as one among the list. But when you just here in extend, it would be included as like element. I just execute this, dear friends. Kindly have a look of this. See here. Here totally what we are having is 1, 2, 3, 4. H is a separate element, E is a separate element, L, L, O, W, O or L, D, and again it is included with A, B and C. So totally we are just having 17 elements. Okay. Next we are just going for insert. The insert method inserts an element to the list at the specified index. Yeah, yesterday we have just seen this with an example, and kindly have a look of this, dear friends, where we want to insert, at what location we have to get insert. So there it's, so we have to specify the index and to the top element. And see here, to the index of 3 we have to include C#. So after hello world, Python and Java, the third element, that is the index of 3, here it is inserted with C#. Okay, next comes the remove. The remove method removes the first matching element, that is which is passed as an argument from the list. So see here, dear friends, if I just making use of the list 1, here we are having the element as like hello world, Python, Java, C++, and then integers of 1, 2, 3. Where if I just want to remove the Java, that is the first matching element Java. Okay, so now if I just make use of the list 1, okay, remove Java, and if I just print the list 1, yeah, without the Java element it would be executed. And if I just specify, even though the index 2 here, no, it is not an index 2, here it is an integer 2. Okay, so that integer 2, so it is removed from the list, and hold for that when we execute. So see here, this is last is the updated list after using remove method. And next comes the pop. The pop method removes the item at the given index from the list and returns the removed list. It just pops it, and what is the element which is removed from the list, that can also be executed. Okay, and see here, dear friends, let me just execute this. Okay, so when on making the pop, see here, I just want to pop an empty. So empty is in the sense it just remove the last default. Okay, if I just specify anything indexed, okay, the exact index alone would be popped out. Okay, next going for the clear method. So clear method removes all items from the list, and it just returns the empty list. And here we are having a list variable where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements are there. Hello world, Python, Java, C++, and 1, 2, 3. Where even if I just provide the clear, it just doesn't delete the exact list. It just provides the empty list where all the elements are cleared. So here it's. Next comes the index method, which returns the index of the specified element in the list. But previously we have just seen many examples providing the index and extracting or retrieving the element value. But here, if I just want providing the specified element, it returns the index of it. Okay, so see here, dear friends, here if I just having the list hello world, Python, Java, C++, 1, 2, 3. If I just specify index of Java, Okay, so here what I want to tell is list1.index of Java. So it just returns 2, whereas the index starts from 0 and 1 comma 2. So here the Java seems to be as 2. And when I just specify index of 2, even though directly I can just specify the integer value and it returns its index. Is the count. The count method returns the number of times the specified element appeared in the list. And for your information, kindly have a look of this example, dear friends. See here in list 1, we are having 1, 2, 3 and A, B, C and again 1, 2, 3. If I just want to check how many times the exact element 1 is present, and how many times the string B is present, and how many times the integer 4 is present. And for your information, see here, dear friends, so the count 1, the number of times the element 1 is presented is 2 times, and the string B just present only once, whereas we don't have the integer value of 4, so it returns 0. And next comes the sort. The sort method sorts the element of a given list in a specific ascending or a descending order. Let me just see both the things with an example. And see here, dear friends, if I just have the list 1, 22, 30, 100, 300 and 399, and again one more list with the string values of Z, AB, ABC, A and B. So if I just want to sort the list 1, okay, and I am just printing the list 1, yeah, it is presented in ascending order. And the next one, list 2 dot sort, so it just being an string value for, even though if it is having 1 element or 2 element, just it comes as like the dictionary. Okay, so here let me execute it. Yeah, here it's the exact list orders. Okay, let me just make use of the other one now example, where it just the list has mixed data elements, so we can't just make use of the sort method here. If we just try, a typo error would arise. And here it's the example, dear friends. Kindly have a look. Okay, next comes the reverse, and the reverse method reverses the element of the list. So if we are just giving the index as from 0 to 10, when on reversing, it executes from 10 to 0. That is what the exact methodology of this reverse method. So let I just execute it, dear friends, for your kind information. See here, the list, even though it just has mixed data elements, with the index, it is reversed. And next comes the copy method. So it returns a shallow copy of the list. Shallow copy of the list. So whatever be in the list, it would be copied in another name where both the elements would be the same and with the same data types. And see, dear friends, next comes the list comprehension, as we have to see more functions under the conditions or the loops and if else statement. So let me just skip it. Once after seeing the or discussing about the loops, we come across here. And here are some of the programs or exercise that you can just try it for your hands-on. And let me just discuss some other new topic in the next session. Thank you, dear friends.